to present, a danger to society.
As to bond from the people?
Court's discretion, Your Honor. Apparently there were some concerns previously, and if those continue, the people would defer to the court on that issue as well.
Oh, she missed last year. Why didn't she show up at the pre-exam back in June of last year? This is over a year old.
Because I didn't have a ride, I asked everybody to give me a ride if they want. I stepped down for when my boyfriend and everything.
Roughly.
You live in Elsie.
Yes, I live in Althea.
We could have walked here.
No, I was down in Flint at my boyfriend's house. It's about 45 miles from here.
Oh, I know. That was a year ago. You didn't call, you didn't write. It's kind of like a bad song. All right. Well, let's do this. Who are you living with over in South Chapin?
My mom, Mary Stevens.
Your mom here?
No, she's at the hospital.
What's she doing at the hospital?
She broke her ligament out of her, came out of her skin and everything. And I got my brothers at home too.
How old are your brothers?
40s, 50s. My older brother's 53.
I think what I'm going to do is ask for a report and recommendation.
Understood, Judge.
Given the dynamic. All right, report and recommendation, I'll take it under advisement, and then we'll be all prepared if I don't make a decision before the first. Thank you. Mr. Obasta, you have one?
Yes, just my client, sir, we're ready to proceed.
Let me call on the matter of People versus Hun on 243102. Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Melissa Hoover, on behalf of the people.
Joseph Albasa, on behalf of Mr. Khan, who's present at the podium.
And what are we doing today?
Judge, I was recently retained on this matter. I do have an order prepared that Ms. Hoover has signed as well for, it's an order to turn over the can counsel interview. So that I may review that with my client if I may approach. Thank you. I've tended that to your bailiff. Judge, I'm asking, we have a matter set for a preliminary examination in 2 weeks. I don't know if I'll have enough time to review the material with my client and go through everything at that point in time. I'm asking if we can waive 21 days and have that preliminary examination date set as another pre-exam conference. And then we can decide if the preliminary examination will be necessary or not in this case at that time.
Okay. All right. Mr. Hun, you do have the right to have a preliminary exam within 21 days. You're not waiving your right to the exam, just the time period that it will be held in, and you agree to that as well?
Yes, sir.
All right, so court will determine the waiver of 21 days to be knowingly, voluntarily, understandingly provided. We'll convert then the 27th to another pre-exam conference or probable cause conference, so no witnesses will be necessary. Are there any issues that the court will need to prepare for prior to the next hearing?
Judge, if there are, I have not discovered those yet. Once I've had a chance to sit down and review that interview with my client, we could probably make a decision on whether or not a preliminary examination will need to be held on the matter.
All right, further discuss that at the next court. Anything else?
Your Honor, thank you.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Bond will be continued with all conditions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I am here. In the matter of People versus Billingsley, on file number 222178, appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Kanashevsky for the record, David.
Morning, Your Honor. Adam Skanishevsky on behalf of Mr. Billingsley would ask the matter to proceed to preliminary exam. I don't believe he has a hold as far as his bond goes in this case, correct? If he does, I'd ask for a PR bond. It's a 2022 case. He does have a hold up to the circuit court with a case that John Huffman has in this bill. I don't know when he's going to see Mr. Billingsley. I've reached out to Mr. Huffman. But I'd ask for, as far as my case goes, that he be given a PR bond if he hasn't already got one.
Okay. So we have a preliminary exam on June 27th at 2:45 here. Anything as to bond?
Court's discretion, Your Honor.
I must have, I believe I arraigned Mr. Billingsley. And I may have put a nominal bond based on, if there was the hold or based on the nature of the charges. But I will convert that to a 7,500 personal recognizance. Is there anything further?
Not from these people, thank you.
All right, then, can be addressed upstairs. Okay.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. In the matter of People versus Turner on 2/4/3252, appearances for the record.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Mr. Coltrane, for the record, being made on the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Eric Coltrane on behalf of Mr. Jesse Turner. He's the defendant in this matter, and he is to my left in the jury.
And what are we doing today?
Your Honor, it's a date and time set for the preliminary examination conference. I believe that we do have a discovery on this case. We're asking to continue to the preliminary examination in this matter. I believe that this one is set for the 27th. So we will be prepared at that time.
Okay. All right. At 3 p.m. And anything else?
Nothing from the people.
Nothing from us, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. You repeat all conditions. If there's any release that he must contact Ms. Joseph within 5 days of release.
Thank you very much.
And then you're ready, and Mr. McAlpin, I'll call that case. Your attorney can advise you as to what the bond is.
He'll come talk to that. Slide this one.
In the matter of People versus Mark McAlpin on file number 233518 and I believe 235437. Appearances for the record.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Mr. Coltrane, for the record, being made known for the people on both sides.
Hey, good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, counsel. Aaron Coltrane standing in for attorney Matt Evans on behalf of Mr. McAlpin. He's the defendant in this matter. He's joining us via the Bay City Jail, I believe, and I do.
He is.
Both cases this morning.
And what are we doing today?
Your Honor, the people aren't making any offers at this time on either of these cases, either the drug case or the gun case. So, waiver proceed to examine counsel's choice.
And Your Honor, I did talk to Mr. Evans about these cases. I do know that he has been in contact with Mr. McAlpin. At this point in time, they're asking to continue to the preliminary examinations.
Did you say gun case or did you misspeak? There is no gun case.
Oh, I'm sorry, there's an assault case.
Only it's assault and then,
My
yeah, okay.
So, drugs and assault.
All right. And I just wanted to make sure, just so that there's no confusion as to Mr. McAlpin's charges. All right, we'll continue. A writ will be required for the preliminary exam. It appears Mr. McAlpin is in the Bay County Jail. So I assume Mr. Evans will be in contact with Mr. McAlpin up in City by the Bay. Anything else?
Nothing from the people.
And nothing from us. Thank you.
All right, Ms. McAlpin, your attorney, Mr. Evans, will be in contact with you, and then we'll see you on the 27th. Be well.
That's all I have, Your Honor. Great meeting.
Thank you.
And then Aaron, you got Stacy?
Yeah.
In the box when you're done.
Now we're on our way to, Mr. Yancer, you have Jones? All right. In the matter of People versus Jones, on file number 232364, appearances for the record.
Morning, Your Honor. Zachary Answer on behalf of Mr. Jones, President of the courtroom. Your Honor, I have an updated summons which only has 2 violations. The first one being failing to pay fines and costs, the second one being failing to attend CST. We would acknowledge both violations at this time, though I would note Mr. Jones has made progress in paying down his fines since we were last here.
The issue was, so he's going to acknowledge?
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Jones, just so that we're complete, you understand that, in addition to the failure to pay or, work on paying your balance, paragraph number 2 is the fail to complete the domestic violence program through CST counseling. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you failed to complete that?
Yes.
You understand that the maximum penalty in this case is, I believe that during the plea was 93 days? You understand that?
Yes. Judge, if I may speak briefly on Mr. Jones's behalf, I don't think he's willfully avoiding CST. I think it's been difficult for him to arrange it. He's currently resides at the rescue mission. Ms. Joseph requires him to be in a quiet, private place. He doesn't have a car. He's constantly working. It's my understanding he's had difficulty with his employer arranging days off when Ms. Joseph had appointments available for him. Mr. Jones has always come to court. His discharge date was the 8th of this month, should have been 8th of this month. The whole time he's been on probation, he's been out of trouble. He hasn't had any issues with Tiffany. He hasn't had any drug or alcohol issues. He's been managing alcoholism successfully the entire time. And so we would ask for discharge at this time, Your Honor.
I have, I believe this isn't the only time that I've had issues with Mr. Jones. I believe I had to hold him back on or about July 6th of last year. We had a bond violation at that time. I also believe that this is not the first instance that Ms. Joseph has had with a difficult time with Mr. Jones. I thought Ms. Joseph would be here. She must be in other appointments. But I did have occasion that where she says, once again, at the time of your appointment, you reported you are downtown waiting for the bus at your Schedule 11 appointment. No, you've been trying to start and complete these sessions since July 5 of 2022. We have discussed what the parameters of session attendance over and over with you. At this time, it appears you are just not going to be in compliance. So that's where she says she referred back to the court. She then unsuccessfully closed the file. So that's kind of where we're at. You have his prior report. I don't have that.
The PSI?
Yes.
That, since we don't have access to police reports anymore,
No, the prior, well, let me do this.
I have the PSI, but I
That's
don't
what I
have the
was-
police report.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yes. Why are your arms folded?
Nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know. Judge, Mr. Jones was called into work this morning last night and told his employer that he couldn't come if he had to be here today. He is prioritizing compliance. I think it's just difficult when you've got 2 jobs, no car, and you're living at the rescue mission. And I think actions speak a little bit louder than some other actions, Judge. He hasn't been in any trouble the whole time he's been on probation. He's been sober. He's not had any issues with Tiffany.
Well, but here's dealing, failed to comply with the pre-sentence interview. back when we first started everything, we're 2 years into this, rather than taking it in, and I'm not unsympathetic to the fact that he is working and where his financial situation is. What I am going to do though is update the PSI rather than taking him into custody today. And I'm acknowledging the fact that yes, there has been no further police contact. However, it's very strict on that he was to complete CST counseling. I'll talk more with Ms. Joseph and go from there.
Absolutely, Your Honor, thank you. Thank you.
In the matter of People versus Stacy, on file number 242110. Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Eric Coltrane on behalf of Mr. Stephen Stacy. He's put in this matter to stand in the jury box to my immediate left.
Any additions, subtractions, or deletions?
There are none, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else by way of elocution?
Yes, Your Honor. I do want to let the court know that we did have another case that Mr. Stacy did have open. That was in front of Judge Jones. We did plead that yesterday with immediate sentencing. We have had Maria from my office working with Mr. Stacy as well. And what we're really want to do is to get him in to the sub-treatment because that's what he really needs, and it's been the underlying cause of everything. Well, I can't say everything. Everybody makes their own choices, but it has had a very big impact on the reason why he's currently in the jury box. Your Honor, I want to let you know that Judge Jones did sentence him to 1 year. He is holding that in abeyance upon his completion of treatment court, and of course not messing up or having any more criminal charges and putting him in probation period.
When you say sentence him to 1 year, you're talking probation?
No, sir. 1 year jail as an incentive to make sure that Mr. Stacy completes everything that he needs to complete.
What treatment court is he in?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was an inpatient. We were trying to get him into inpatient through DOT.
Well, my recommendation is that, given his prior record, given that he's a poor candidate for probation, given prior violations, that he wasn't expecting me to put him on probation for the fact that his case, one, has more, it looks like he must have pled to him a 1 year maximum.
That's great.
So in this case, he has served 40 days or approximately 40 days. Only approximately 30 more to go before statute basically says that I have no more authority or teeth within which to have him comply. So I don't know what prosecutor handled the plea, but the fact that there was poor collaboration with that, given that his prior record, given that the assaultive nature with the family, and I don't know whatever trauma he has is not being addressed. So what is it that Ms. Romo has already established with Mr. Stacy?
Your Honor, they do have, they have it getting him directly from jail to DOT. Of course, Mr. Stacy's already signed all of the stuff. We just need to have him talk to Sergeant Schaff to complete the screenings for the residential side. And I believe it will be going directly from jail to the DOT treatment center.
So then is it my understanding of Judge Jurin's sentence that he's not on probation? He's sentencing him to complete treatment. If he fails to, then he will do the 1 year.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Was that your understanding of the sentence?
That's what it sounds like.
Okay. So then if I give him credit time served, so up to 1 year, or I do maybe the same. So he's going to treatment. They're setting up inpatient treatment right now.
That is correct, Your Honor. And I do apologize, Judge, the reason why we didn't have it set up earlier is because he didn't have a PR bond on the case that we settled yesterday. So he couldn't be released. We just
Well, yeah,
heard that yesterday.
I also had him go to CST counseling to begin. I mean, the issues have been with his sister, with his mother. For a child to strike their mother, there's something going on with him in the sense of whether it's past trauma that he's not addressing, to reach out to his family, and treat them like that. And then his unwillingness to be open to treatment.
Your Honor, to be completely honest, just from getting to know Mr. Stacy, the guy that I read about the non-compliance and somebody who would do something like that to a family member, especially a mother, that's not the individual that I see when he's here. He's not, has no substances in his body. He's thinking clearly. He's a very smart, intelligent, and he's very respectful to me at least. And I would think that he would do that on a normal basis when he's sober. And that's what we're trying to get to, Judge, because he's got big things he can do in life. He can just get past the past trauma and the way he's coping with it right now. So that's what we're looking to do, Judge.
I'll adjourn today
Thank you.
so that I can coordinate either Judge Jern's court or ask the prosecutor to some collaborative effort to figure out. He's too young. If you look at his prior record, it's quite extensive. It's a violent record of domestic violence against family members. So, all right, I'll take bond under advisement, so it'll be held until there's some plan in place, or that he can be released directly to DOT.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay. In the matter of People versus Scott on 242675 and file number 242445. Appearances for the record.
Mike Greenberg on behalf of Mr. Scott, who is present with me in the jury box, Your Honor.
All right. Any additions, subtractions, or deletions?
No, Judge.
Anything else by way of elocution?
Your Honor, I anticipated the victim to be present today. She's contacted my office a couple of times, expressing to me that she wants contact with Mr. Scott. She wants him to come back living with her. They have, I think, maybe a complicated relationship, to put it nicely, of dating, and she's also his caregiver, given that my client is disabled. She's also been in contact with Ms. Romo out of our office to make sure there were some issues with his guide dog. And so she's been in regular contact with our office, Your Honor. And like I said, she has expressed to me repeatedly that she doesn't want Mr. Scott to serve any more time.
I'll send these things.
And
Move the mic down.
Mr. Scott
The
has been
mic.
respectful to me, Your Honor.
can't
I know that
hear.
he has somewhat of a lengthy criminal history. There is a little bit of confusion regarding whether or not there is a hold out of him in Texas. I personally tried to get the information. My understanding is that the charges are alleged are out of San Antonio, which is Bexar County in Texas. I wasn't able to get any of the information. I do see in the pre-sentence report that there's a court proceeding set for June 18th, 2024 with the same complaining witness as we have on our two matters that are in front of you today, Your Honor. Again, she's just repeatedly expressed to me that she doesn't want to move forward with anything anymore at this point. So, Your Honor, I would just consider that you give him time served. He served 32 days at this point, and my client also wishes to address the court.
Mr. Scott?
Yes, sir, may I speak?
Yes, of course.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. First thing I would like to do is apologize to yourself as well as the courts. For this, I've seen you before in the past, Your Honor, in this relationship with Mrs. Warren. Kendra is a beautiful person, beautiful woman. No woman, no person deserves. I am a victim of violent crime. No one deserves to be battered, beaten, hurt, abused. And Kendra, Your Honor, is dealing with cancer. She has cervical cancer. She's mourning the loss of her daughter. She lost her daughter to lupus with a lethal fentanyl overdose, and she's going through a lot. I'm trying my best, Your Honor, and I'm gonna be brief here, Your Honor. I love her to death, but I also know that she needs some help, as well as myself, Your Honor. I'm not blaming her. Your Honor, I've missed my granddaughter's graduation. Working on my state licensing and selling health insurance as well as life insurance. I'm working on my bachelor's degree in healthcare administration with a specialization in healthcare financing. And the last 31 days, Your Honor, it's set me back. But the most important thing is Kendra's well-being, her safety, and making sure that she's okay and happy, Your Honor. Again, I apologize for my ignorance. I make no excuses. I took the plea to make some sort of, if regardless how I feel, no one deserves to feel in fear of their life or deserves to be a victim of any type of crime, especially a woman. And I just wanted you to know that's how I feel.
Anything else?
No, Judge.
Appreciate you wanting to speak, Mr. Scott, but when I hear your words here, but I look at your prior record of domestic violence with Ms. Warren going back in 22, while dismissed, at least the police contact, let's make that. In 22 and 22, there was also a kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment. Disposition, though, was unknown in 22. In addition, in 23 and 23, there are disposition unknowns, but they are involving assault of or violent tendencies in Texas. In addition, there are pending charges in Rochester. It appears traffic in nature, and then Reed City.
Your Honor, must speak. Those charges, Your Honor, Reed City, from what I understand, these are over 20 years old. When I spoke to you, I forgot the PSI investigator, I think her name's right now. Yeah, I always give, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. She mentioned these things. She said something about me having some type of kidnapping in Mount Pleasant. Your Honor, I haven't been to Mount Pleasant. Some of these things that she's saying to me, Your Honor, I have no idea.
Well, when I asked if there were any additions, subtractions, I had none, so I only assumed that they were accurate. I did say though that this position was unknown, so other than noting that possible police contact, why I mentioned them. So, Mr. Scott, I see a very different picture of the one that you're portraying here. So, while I will note that I don't believe I've ever had anything other than positive contact with you in the court. In fact, it means I have had contact with you in the court. My concern is when looking at your prior record, looking at the fact that when I read your version, you said you did nothing wrong. That does not compare to the pictures I saw or to the police report I read. So I believe that while in the house, you are a different person than the angel you portray yourself to be today.
Sir, I'm not portraying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, sir. I didn't mean to portray myself to be an angel, Your Honor. When Your Honor, when it comes to, for instance, the stalking charge, Your Honor, I had no idea I had a warrant or that I was being charged with anything of that matter, sir. On the 14th of May, the 12th was Mother's Day. We had a beautiful day. Ginger had some drinks, Monday, and she's been working on her certification in IT. She was having problems at her brother's house. She was staying at my cousin's house with me. The only reason that I was still here, Your Honor, is she asked me to be here. If I had been stalking her and I knew Your Honor, when I got this domestic violence that I just pled on, Your Honor, I had no idea that I had a warrant or that I was even being charged with stalking. I had no idea, sir. I'm just being completely honest. If that was the case, and if I was doing all of this to her, why would she even be there? So with that being said, Your Honor, I'm not portraying myself to be an angel. I'm just saying that I don't understand, and I believe that it's some of the medication that she may be on, and maybe there's.
But herein lies the issue, and I am not going to allow you to talk anymore.
Yes, sir.
I am just going to sentence you to 92 days with the credit for 93 with the credit for 32. Everything you have said, you have pointed to her as being the reason.
No,
It is
sir.
you that are the reason that
Yes,
you
sir.
are here. It is
That's
your
true.
conduct. And
Yes, sir.
until you can regulate your behavior, you will continue to keep coming through. It's my understanding also that there are other charges in Texas and that there may be a bondsman out in Texas that is searching for you, just to let you know. So, all right, we're done.
You're welcome, Tom.
We have,
Okay.
I believe,
She'll come and see you.
and Kohanic,
I have caught.
but we don't have Kohanic here. Is that right?
Robin?
Yeah.
I got him on full
It's
probation.
my understanding, isn't he on a monitoring device?
He's on a scram unit and we can't use
Oh,
it as
hang
we
on.
would any other unit to locate him.
Well, today is, let me call on the matter of People versus Kohanic on 241647, appearances for the record.
Morning, Your Honor. Zach Banston on behalf of Mr. Kalanick on file ending in 47.
And today is the date and time for a petition order to show cause. Those paragraphs that are included is that he failed to have the scram unit installed as ordered, so he was dilatory, and also he has, there's an allegation he tested positive for cocaine, and he has failed to attend CST counseling within the 5 days as ordered. He's also failed to appear here today. Noting that the defendant has failed to appear, bench warrant, full, bring only two. All right,
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
you two. In the matter of People versus King, on file number 234070, Mr. King is here.
Morning,
Wasn't
Judge.
sure whether he's gonna make it. I understand you were in a treatment program?
No, I go to Arbor Circle, but I live in Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay, all right. All right. Any additions, subtractions, or deletions?
Just to start with a point of clarification, I did receive two slightly different copies of the pre-sentence investigation report. Which address is listed on the report that you have in front of you?
I have the Grand Rapids.
Okay, yes, that is correct. We have edit to his current cell phone number, Your Honor.
I
The
have
number that's currently listed is,
0674.
no, Judge.
You
Current-
they can provide that to
Okay.
Ms. Lang. Or you can, or can, either.
Aside from that, I did not have any additions, corrections, or deletions, Your Honor.
All right. And then as to allocution,
Your Honor, I am standing in for the attorney of record, Matt Evans, on this matter. I had a discussion with my client in the hallway and reviewed the report with him. He is here to take accountability. He made sure that he was here from Grand Rapids today, Your Honor. He has been attending counseling services at Arbor Circle, as he described. I think that he's here to take accountability, and that is all I have to say in the allocution of him, Your Honor.
Mr. King, anything else you want to add?
Yes, Your Honor, I just want to really apologize to the victim and my kids, my behavior. There was alcohol, like I'm taking going through treatment and everything, doing right stuff. Can't
Yeah.
take the college classes right now.
Well, and I did see that where because of your substance use, you lost your one job that you had over in.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you kind of experienced many times kind of what's happening with that addiction that you have, which is, I think, with regard to the recommendations designed to address that. So certainly probation is not there as a punishment. The Silver Link will be used as just as a monitoring to see where we're going and how things are going. Obviously, the idea is to assist you and give the tools necessary so you're not coming back.
Yes, sir.
And I don't doubt, when I look at your prior record, I imagine a lot of it is with regard to just that, the alcohol use that you've had since being a very young age. So I hope that during your treatment that you're addressing the issues that is causing that, or is having you self-medicate to that extent. With that, I'm going to adopt the recommendations. To assist you though, with regard to the fines and costs, let's see, you had spent 2 days in jail, correct?
Yes, sir.
You have been in treatment, you've been actively engaging in treatment, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll strike number 3. That should help with regard to the offsetting some of the costs anyways with your monitoring. I just wanted to highlight as well, number 14 is with CST services. I don't have a problem in adding or its equivalent, so once you talk with Ms. Joseph and recognizing that you're in Grand Rapids, although she will accommodate, so it's not in person, do it online. But if you and her work out something where you're in Grand Rapids, I don't have a problem in changing that, okay, just to let you know.
Well, I can go see, do the classes in Grand Rapids.
But I want Ms. Joseph first to make sure that you're on a course to address the issues, past and present, recognizing that alcohol seems to be the one common denominator through a lot of the issues. However, I want to make sure that she also knows or has an idea of anything else that may need to be addressed and that the program is actually doing that. So we'll work with you on that, just to let you know. So I'm going to adopt as recommended, or as amended, I should say. That amendment is striking number 3, paragraph 3, and adding or equivalent to number 14. Okay. And then time to pay, because there are fees and so forth. Work with 90 days. In addition, let me also note that should the monitoring program, JSG, say that you have to have everything up front, that is, I'm ordering them not to require that. So if financial means is prohibiting you from coming up with the upfront costs, they are to allow you to get on that device immediately. So, and let me, you are not working as of right now, is that correct?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. I work for Urban Seaton. I started last week.
Oh, okay.
Urban Seaton.
Okay, all right, I had you as unemployed. All right. Well, let's get you on your feet. So again, I'm not gonna require that upfront cost. If they have a problem with that, let me know. Okay, good luck. Thank you.